Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. There's big storms coming this weekend, according to the weather folks. Kind of the whole Midwest, it's looking like. The central United States, Missouri, kind of moving eastward. So yeah, be watching for that. Looks like it's probably going to start around Sunday and then start moving east. So they're talking that it could be some pretty severe stuff. There's already been several hundred tornadoes this year, and we're not even at the very end of March yet. We're towards the end, but not quite. So it's already been a pretty wild season so far when it comes to severe storms. And again, this one that's coming in this weekend has the potential so far, it's still a little early to tell, but it has the potential, it looks like, of producing some severe storms. So be watchful, pay attention. You know, as a prepper, you think about collapses and wars and all of these things that can go on that we got to be prepared for. But, you know, the storms can be very, very devastating, and you need to be prepared for that. Have a plan, because man, it can wipe out a lot. You know, you have all your preps in one place, and then they get all wiped away because of tornado or winds or floods or whatever comes through. So be prepared for that. I had said this morning about this whole war plan leak. I don't even know what they're probably calling it something by now. Everything always gets to have its own little name. So whatever it's being called, it's getting some legs. There's a lot of talk today about it. There's already been a few Democrats come out and demand the resignation of the Secretary of Defense, and also the National Security Advisor. And so it's kind of picking up some steam. And I think, like I said this morning, I still stand by that is as it grows and as it garners more attention, there's an increased probability that something could happen to distract from this. The United States has been conducting more bombing raids on the Houthis in Yemen. And I don't think that on its own is going to be enough, because we've been doing that. That's not enough to distract from this. So there has to be something big to distract from it. Also, I'm just going to throw this out there because it's weird, and it may be nothing. It could be fake. But if it's real, it could have, I think, big significance when it comes to end times, which many of you, like myself, kind of really strongly follow that. It's been floating around on the internet today that there's a kind of a leaked or revealed document, CIA document. This isn't something that's brand new, the document itself, but that the United States government knows where and potentially has possession of the Ark of the Covenant. You know what that is, right? I mean, if you don't know, then you're probably watching the wrong channel. But so it's even weirder than just saying that they might know where it's at or have possession of it. Apparently, it was a top secret CIA program back in the 80s where they were doing astral projection, and apparently found it out that it's in Ethiopia, and all this kind of stuff. Now, I don't want to go deep into this because there's probably just a lot of not true parts to it, but we don't know yet. It is of my opinion, and my opinion only, and many of you may share this, that things like astral projection are demonic. That's my opinion. You can disagree with me. That may offend you greatly, but it's my opinion, and you can agree or disagree. And if, in fact, what they're saying is true, then would this not actually play very closely into demonic forces, end time prophecies, all that kind of stuff? I don't know. I just threw it out there. I will say this: if it is true, in fact, that they know where it's at and or they have possession of it, then I would think that we're a lot closer to the end than we realize. It's just my opinion. But who knows? I mean, they say stuff all the time that's not true. So, when's the last time we actually trusted the CIA? With all this stuff going on, I reference or circle back. That's the right term. Circle back. I circle back to this often, and that's the economy. And the reason is because the economy is something that directly affects all of us in a very quick way. So, if there was a possibility, let's just say, a major war between the United States and Iran starts tomorrow, whether we bomb them, they bomb us, some kind of attack. Is that action going to directly affect you and I here in the United States? Not necessarily immediately. It's not like we have to worry about Iran dropping bombs on us. I mean, if you live over there, certainly you'd be worried about it. But here in the United States, there's possible things that could kind of spin off of that could affect us. But the big thing is economic. That is what's going to affect us. And a lot of these actions and things that we're seeing happen domestically and internationally, the very first, more important thing that is happening to us, affecting us, is the economy, economically. And I'm telling you right now, and I've been saying this for years, that there is a depression on Main Street. Wall Street, maybe not so much. And what I mean by that is, according to the official numbers, we've not necessarily been in a recession or even a depression. That, maybe it's been close, but not quite. But on Main Street, meaning the average American person, we're feeling it. And I've talked to so many people, whether it be online or in person, that are saying that things are getting hard for them. They're really having to buckle down, tighten things up, trim the fat kind of thing. And I think that's becoming more and more of a reality, and that's something that we need to prepare for. Is things just getting more expensive? Our dollar value continually plummeting. Prices just going up. And I understand that just recently egg prices have come down a little bit. Still not low. I mean, lower than what they were at the peak, but still not low. And same thing with gas. It's come down. It's still not low. It's not like you're going to the gas station and like, man, this is cheap. It's just that it's cheaper than it was. But referencing back to this leak thing from the White House, from the White House staff, Vice President J.D. Vance said in that, and I mentioned this morning, that he was concerned that taking these actions in the Middle East could hurt the economy. Well, those actions that he mentioned are being taken as we speak. And the immediate, or recent, I guess would be the better term, the recent getting better in the economy, with, like I just said, egg prices going down, gas prices going down a little bit, has been kind of a big, selling point with the Trump administration. Hey, we came in and we're doing all this stuff, and look, things are improving a little bit. Could be reversed with these actions. There's also, the president has announced that April 2nd is a big day. It's a big, big day, April 2nd. And he's going to come out with all this new tariff plan. And there's kind of mixed reviews in the markets of, well, maybe he's going to clarify things and we'll at least know, looking towards the future, of what to expect with tariffs, versus it's probably going to be a lot worse than expected. And the markets are reacting today. They're going down in kind of a panic, but that's been happening a lot lately. But what all of it, I think, means is that things for the average American, it's getting tighter, it's getting worse. I've talked to several businesses, people that I know that either work at a company, maybe in a position that they know a little bit more than the average worker, or people that own businesses. And they all talk about how they're struggling with sales. Sales are down significantly. There's been continual reports of retail sales, online sales, factories cutting back on workers. They're cutting back because their sales are down. They're cutting back their hours of their workers because they're not manufacturing as much, or they're not selling as much. This seems to be happening across the board. And it's been going on, but it's been going on. And I understand it's been going on for a while, but it's been going on so long now that it's really starting to sink in that people are either making less money or their income is not keeping up with the expenses and the inflation and all of these problems. This is a serious issue for our country that is kind of getting overlooked, especially right now with all this other stuff. We're overlooking it because we're on the brink of war, it seems like, and there's all kinds of disturbances and upsets, good and bad, in the Capitol, in Washington, in the White House. And so a lot of people aren't paying attention. I mean, they're paying attention when they go to the store and they pay the prices and they're figuring out that they have less money at the end of the month. But broadly speaking, they're not paying attention. This is a serious issue, and I think that it's one of those quiet, silent killers that's just building and building and building, and then one day we're going to wake up, and it's going to be bad. We'll start seeing more and more bank failures. I just was reading the other day, there's several banks still that are just on the edge of failing. Inflation rates are expected to actually go up. Dollar values continually going down. Gold is still being bought and rising. Same thing with silver. This is something that you and I can actually do right now to prepare for. Number one, stocking up. Now, I know you're going to say, yeah, you're telling me here that we're all getting poor, and then you're going to tell me to go out and buy things. I get it. We have to tighten up our own budgets, our own spending. Things were kind of got good there for a while after COVID. I think people were still kind of living off of this kind of surge from the all the government money being sent out and everything like that. But for many people, that's not happening anymore. For many people, they're starting to really struggle. And with the possibility of federal funding cutbacks in various areas, whether it be food stamps and various social welfare systems, possibly even Social Security, yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad. I just saw the other day, was it BlackRock or one of those top? I think it may have been BlackRock, but it could have been someone else, talking about the possibility of Social Security problems. The Secretary of the Treasury, I think, said that it's possible that people could miss a month or two of their Social Security checks because of all the changes and cutbacks. How many people desperately depend on those checks? And if they missed a month or two, they may go under. When these things start happening, that's when people start getting more desperate and behaving more badly. And it's a snowball effect. You can look at countries that went into hyperinflation, or their economies collapsed, their dollar collapsed, whatever it was. And they hit this point to where people just went into panic mode. I'm not saying that we're there yet, but I do believe that we're getting to that point. And it's possible that these policies that the president is trying to push will turn things around. But I'm not 100% at all confident in that. And so we have to be prepared. We have to be examining our own spending, examining ourselves of how we can cut back, tighten things up. And some of you are going to say, man, I've already tightened up. Well, do it some more. And then as you're doing that, do your best to stock up on things. Because when it starts really hitting and it's bad, food is going to be a primary big thing. And if you added in war, you added in all kinds of other things that are possibilities, a pandemic or, trade wars and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, food is, people often ask, I'm going to say this, people often ask, well, what is something I can use as a bartering tool? Food's going to be the number one thing. People are going to be turning over gold coins for loaves of bread at some point in the future, because you can't eat gold. And when you're starving, you'll be desperate. So produce food, get your gardens going this year, and stock up as much as possible, because economic problems, financial problems, they have not peaked at all. They're just going to get worse. And you need to be getting ready for that. So get your houses in order and prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.